Hi, I'm Stephanie Chiswick, Editor-in-Chief of Coatings Pro Magazine. With us today is Steve Brook. He's the Director of Sales and Business Development at Abrasives, Inc. Thank you so much for joining us today, Steve.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So Black Magic 100% coal slag is expanding its presence. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our goal has always been to make it easy to do business with abrasives. And we like to say where you need it, when you need it. We essentially have two facets to our business, servicing the abrasive blast and surface prep markets, where we sell blast equipment, parts, and consumables, including the entire gamut of abrasive blast medias, including coated abrasives. The core of our geography historically has been centered around that 8 or 9 state area in the upper Midwest. However, the fastest growing part of our business is tied to the production, packaging, and distribution of our Black Magic 100% coal slag. We're expanding our Black Magic business into new geographies through a network of distributor partners, public warehouses, and transloaders to match the footprint of our valuable customers and their respective projects, thereby making it easier to do business with us wherever their work might take them.
I mean, that sounds great. It sounds like a great expansion. So can you give us maybe a little bit of an overview of some of the benefits of Black Magic?
Yeah, so we describe our Black Magic as 100% coal slag because we continue to hear from users of coal slag across the country that their suppliers are talking about the scarcity of their base product. Being coal slag. And as a result, they're now being offered products that may include fillers that are often referred to as blends. And blends can be a little problematic in that they may include some heavy metals, which can have a tendency for increasing the buildup of static charge on the blasted surfaces, making the blowdown of those surfaces even more challenging. While 100% coal slag products don't exhibit those tendencies. However, it's important to note that we can still do blends, but we typically only do them for performance reasons and at the customer's request. Our blend options are things like Blastox for lead abatement or Star Blast for mill scale. Most of all, what we want to be known is that Abrasives has ample supply of our base product with long-term contracts with our sources, which in turn keeps our supply of 100% coal slag consistent into the future.
That's awesome. I mean, supply is definitely a hot topic right now, so that's great. Is there anything else that you want to add today?
Yeah, I think from the perspective of how abrasives is working within the industry. We have abrasives in our Black Magic. We're bringing change in the industry in two different ways. The first is that we join forces with several other slag producers to bring more clarity to the beryllium ruling that was circulated several years ago, where we believe the slag producers were being falsely targeted as the only blast medias to contain heavy metals such as beryllium. And through the efforts of the ABMA, the Abrasive Blasting Manufacturers Alliance, and with the help of OSHA, there were some revised rulings established in June of last year, clarifying that all abrasive blast medias may contain trace amounts of beryllium, including the substrates that are being blasted, as well as the coatings being removed from those substrates. The second area is that Black Magic is a recycled byproduct of the power grid, and it is produced here in the US. And so we believe we have a really good green story. While some abrasive blast medias are specifically mined for abrasive blasting and are being shipped into the US from halfway around the world, I'll just say that in my 30 plus years in the industry, those first 30 years were spent in the coating space, where nearly my entire career, the federal, the state, and the local governing agencies were mandating lowering the VOCs of products, thereby forcing the manufacturers to repeatedly change raw materials, and formulations. So there were efforts to promote greener solutions, including continually tweaking product formulations and specifications, and even greater emphasis on green, such as the establishment of the USGBC and the creation of LEED standards. But what I found is interesting in my first year in the abrasive blast community is we're really just beginning that journey where we are focused on, green solutions. And we hope to be a part of those discussions, elevating this topic, where I believe it really needs to be addressed in the abrasive blast community, such as addressing the type of media is being used, where they're mined, whether they're recycled or not, and the distance in which those products travel to get to market.
I mean, there's just so much going on with you guys at Abrasives Inc. And I think if people want to get more information, they should probably head to your website over at abrasivesinc.com. Thank you so much for sharing some of this with us today. Again, I'm Stephanie Chiswick from Coatings Pro Magazine. This is Steve Brook, Director of Sales and Business Development at Abrasives Inc. Thank you so much again, Steve. And as always, happy coding.
Thank you.